Beneath the waves, a silent war has raged for centuries. This is the story of the submarine, the ultimate ocean predator, a machine that transformed naval warfare and holds the fate of nations in its unseen grasp. Welcome to War Machines Chronicles. The dream of navigating underwater is as old as humanity itself. Back in the 4th century BC, the philosopher Aristotle described devices like diving bells, hinting at our desire to conquer the depths. Centuries later, the great Leonardo da Vinci sketched a concept for an underwater vessel, but he destroyed his own designs, terrified of the destructive power he might unleash upon the world. It wasn't until 1620 that the dream became a reality. A Dutchman named Cornelis Drebbel built the first functional submarine. Made of wood, wrapped in waterproof leather, it was powered by oars sticking out through sealed holes. Drebbel rowed his strange craft beneath the surface of the River Thames in London, astonishing onlookers and proving that underwater travel was possible. Over a century later, in 1775, the submarine went to war. During the American Revolutionary War, the Turtle was born. This one-man, acorn-shaped vessel was designed to sneak up on British warships and attach a bomb to their hulls. Although its missions were tactical failures, the Turtle was a historic leap forward, the very first military submarine. The 19th century and the Industrial Revolution brought mechanical power to the forefront. Early submarines experimented with steam engines and hand cranks, and the first torpedoes began to appear. In 1863, France launched the Plongeur, the first submarine powered by a mechanical engine, using compressed air. It also introduced modern ballast tanks for diving and surfacing, a key innovation. But the true game-changer came from Spain in 1888. Isaac Peral, a brilliant engineer, created the Peral submarine. It was the first truly viable electric-powered combat submarine. It had everything: batteries for underwater propulsion, a periscope, a gyroscope for navigation, and it could launch torpedoes while submerged. It was decades ahead of its time, but tragically, due to political reasons, the Spanish government abandoned the project. When the First World War erupted in 1914, the submarine changed the face of naval warfare forever. Germany's U-boats became the terror of the seas. They operated with terrifying efficiency, attacking merchant ships without warning in a strategy of unrestricted submarine warfare. The sinking of the passenger liner Lusitania in 1915, with over 1,000 lives lost, outraged the world and helped push the United States into the war. These early U-boats were crude by today's standards. They ran on diesel engines on the surface and switched to battery power when submerged, which gave them very limited underwater range and speed. Then came World War II, the golden age of the submarine. The Battle of the Atlantic was the longest continuous military campaign of the war, a deadly duel between German U-boats and Allied convoys. The Germans perfected their wolfpack tactics, where groups of U-boats would coordinate their attacks to overwhelm convoy defenses. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, American submarines waged a devastating campaign against Japan's merchant fleet, crippling their war effort and proving decisive for the Allied victory. This era saw huge technological leaps: sonar for detecting submerged targets, radar for surface detection, more reliable torpedoes, and the snorkel, a Dutch invention that allowed submarines to run their diesel engines while just below the surface, recharging their batteries without fully exposing themselves. But the biggest revolution was yet to come. In 1954, the world watched in awe as the USS Nautilus was launched. It was the world's first nuclear-powered submarine. Its atomic reactor gave it almost unlimited range and endurance. It could stay submerged for months at a time, traveling faster underwater than most ships could on the surface. The Nautilus made history by traveling under the frozen ice cap of the North Pole, a feat previously thought impossible. The Cold War had begun, and the submarine was now its primary weapon. New classes emerged. There were SSNs, or attack submarines, designed to hunt and destroy enemy subs and ships. And then there were the SSBNs, ballistic missile submarines. These behemoths were floating, invisible nuclear launch platforms. They became the cornerstone of the mutually assured destruction doctrine, ensuring that if one superpower launched a nuclear attack, the other could retaliate from the depths of the ocean. the silent service became the ultimate deterrent. Today, in the 21st century, submarines are more advanced than ever. Modern technologies are straight out of science fiction. Air-independent propulsion, or AIP, allows non-nuclear subs to stay submerged for weeks. Ultra-quiet passive sonar arrays can detect an enemy from hundreds of miles away. Anechoic coatings on the hull absorb sound waves, making them nearly invisible to detection. They launch underwater drones, employ artificial intelligence for data processing, and conduct missions ranging from espionage and special operations to scientific research, and, of course, nuclear deterrence. Some submarines have become legends. The USS Nautilus, the first nuclear pioneer. The German U-96, immortalized in the film Das Boot. Russia's Typhoon class, the largest submarines ever built, giants of the deep. And the advanced Los Angeles, Virginia, and Triumphant classes of the US and French navies, which continue to push the boundaries of technology. From a leather-clad boat rowed by hand to a nuclear-powered fortress carrying weapons of unimaginable power, the history of the submarine is a story of human ingenuity, conflict, and the relentless pursuit of technological supremacy. It forced the creation of new laws of the sea, it redefined the global balance of power, and to this day, it remains one of the most secret and lethal weapons ever created. The silent hunter of the ocean, forever patrolling the dark, cold depths. Thanks for joining us on War Machines Chronicles. If you found this journey into the abyss fascinating, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the history of incredible machines.